and hello. Welcome to day 3. Wow. Days pop by so fast, okay? So if you're already on day 3 and you have been keeping up each day, okay, I would really suggest, if you've not done the worksheets, to go and do the worksheets. The worksheets are going to help you so much. But let's look at what we've learned, okay? Over the last few days, you learned about who you are. We've looked at, why you do certain things, and understanding that at different points in our lives, actually, our focus changes and shifts, okay? And then as part of today, actually, we're going to look at being honest. That's it. We're just going to go and be honest with ourselves. Now, this is not a scolding session. This is not a shaming session, because we need to reframe everything that you see and how you think about what happened previously. So today, as part of the worksheets, okay, you're going to have 2 worksheets. One says, let's bring this up actually. What did I achieve from my plan 10 years ago? Okay. So, and as you realized from yesterday's video and from what we did yesterday in the work, okay, it's about taking what you did, what your plans were 10 years ago, and writing down, what did I achieve? Reframing the I didn't get my plan from 10 years ago, I'm not living that life, to what did I achieve from my plan 10 years ago? So if I look at mine, I learned how to build websites. I learned how to run a good social media campaign. I learned how to sort out all to do with social media, look at the different platforms. There weren't as many back then as there are now. I also learned that there was a few things I didn't like doing. Okay, I didn't particularly like calling people on the phone and not being able to have a chat with them properly. I prefer in person, which is why Zoom works for me quite well as well. But I've realized I'm not really a telephone person. With family and friends, it's okay. But when you're talking to a new prospect, I much prefer face-to-face, because I like to be able to read people. Now, with the business I had back then, okay, I did a lot of work over the telephone, and it was then I realized I couldn't have as big an impact as I could when I'm face-to-face with somebody. So you see, I didn't know that then, but now I understand it now. So I would put that down as an achievement. From 10 years ago, I realized actually I'm much better face-to-face, whether then by Zoom, and we didn't have Zoom then. I think it was GoToWebinar, and that was even a webinar. I like to be face-to-face. So also look at the things that you learned that you didn't possibly think that you would learn, okay? Because if we can take out some of the, if you can really hone the negatives as well and reframe them into positives, then that's going to really also help you moving forward, because you're going to then know what you don't like. Now, if you know what you don't like, then you don't go and do it again in the future. I now don't offer any calls. I offer clarity calls. Any of those are done either in person or via Zoom. I don't have phone calls. Doesn't suit me. I'm not going to put that in my new business. So I want you to really pull out the positives, okay? The whole reframe of, what did you do? So if you've done that, okay, I want you to then go and do the 5 years ago. So from 5 years ago, I realized that I understood where I fitted in my own family unit. I wasn't just working 12, 14 hours a day. I realized that I wanted to be more mummy at home, okay? And I actually loved spending time baking with my children. That was good during lockdown, okay? I can tell you that much. But I didn't know all of that before, you see? So my plan from 5 years ago, well, then mine was really up and down and topsy-turvy. There were so many good points that came from that. And that's what you need to look at for yours as well. What are the positives that came from your plan that you wanted to achieve 5 years ago? What are the bits that you pulled from that actually that you gleaned that now you can use going forward? Because it's now looking at our list of achievements almost, once you have finished that page, wow, look at what you did achieve. Look, there is so many amazing positive things on there that you did achieve, okay? Look at what you have gained already. Look at because you put those plans in place. Look at what you got back from those plans. Some of them are going to be big, some of them are going to be small, but everything you have done, you have achieved that. And it doesn't matter big or small. Without the plan in place 10 years ago, 5 years ago, that wouldn't now be on your list. So we do everything for a reason. So make sure that you're, congratulating yourself. What you have written on that paper now, okay, is a huge bonus of things that you probably didn't even realize you had in your toolbox. This is you. This is you, that when you put a plan in place, these are the bits that you learned from it. These are the bits that actually pulled you through. And it's so hard to see that as we're doing it. We don't understand what we're learning as we're going along. We just get into the process. So I want you to just take a second and congratulate yourself. I want to know how many achievements you've got. You can come and share it with me if you like inside the Facebook group. Go and put a link in the chat thing and let me know. I just think that it's so, when you write it down, when you reframe, instead of I didn't achieve this 10 years ago, I did achieve that from 10 years ago. I did achieve that from 5 years ago. Huge, huge. So now knowing that you are amazing and fantastic and spectacular because all of these things you've achieved in the last 10 years, okay, we're now going to use that. Are you ready? You are so much more capable than you probably ever thought you were. Okay, look at what you've written down. So we're now going to go and open up the today sheet, okay? So where's my other sheet? There we go. So what will I do today? So this is your homework for today. And make it today. If it has to be tomorrow, then make it tomorrow, okay? But I think better today. The day you are on, the day you are watching this, okay? And if you are doing these sheets properly, okay, you will want to now do something. And the reason I'm going to explain that is because this is now you understanding you have, and in your toolbox, in your, who you are, so many more things than you thought you had, okay? You're capable of achieving and learning and understanding so many more things than you thought you were. So I want you to go and write down a commitment for today. I want you to write down something that you would put off for another day, okay? Or, you don't really want to do it. And I don't know what is going on in your life. So it could be, let's see. Today I plan to cook dinner, if that's not normal for you. You're going to go and build that Lego. That would not be normal for me, okay? I normally squirm away from that and go to something else. I'm going to play with my kids. I'm going to finish that web page. I'm going to reply to that email. I'm going to contact that customer. I'm going to go and put a social post on social media. I'm going to go and tell somebody about my business. It could be anything, but one thing that is not normal for you to do that you would have normally shied away from. You're eating the frog almost. And the reason I want you to do this actually is because I want you to look back on your page and go, I am capable of all of that. And I didn't realize at that time that I was learning all of those things. So if I just eat the frog, if I just put this on my list today for what I will do, I will go and do that today, okay? It means then that I want you then not only to go and write it on there, I want you to do it straight away. I want you to do that thing straight away. Because once you've accomplished it, once you've committed to it, once you've written it down, go and complete it and feel amazing. And it's really the whole psychology of it that you can actually put something down, you commit to doing it, and then you do it, okay? And then that block of, do you know what, I didn't want to do that, or it was so hard, or this one, the commitment, the understanding that you have and you can do so many more things than you ever thought was possible. You can go and do that one small thing today that will then just make the rest of your day seem so much brighter. So please, I urge you, okay, whatever day you're watching this on, the replays are up for another 30 days or so. But go and do that one small thing that's then going to propel and push you forward, okay? Go and give yourself that nod of belief that, yes, I can do it, okay? I always talk about having a quick win. A quick win are so, really, in whatever we do in our lives, quick wins are really important because they keep us going. They keep that smile on our face and that, yes, I can do this. So once you've done your thing, once you have written that down, okay, I want you to come back to this piece of paper and write, in 5 years, I will have. What will you have in 5 years, okay, based on a result of what you now know that you have, okay? So all of the skills that you've gained over the last 10 years, okay, on the fact of what you've managed to do and accomplish today, what will you have in 5 years? from your current trajectory, okay, what will you have in 5 years? Now, this might seem like a strange one. I know that if I don't continue to grow my business, I will have in 5 years, okay, a small membership group, small but amazing. I will have a couple of one-to-one clients, okay, and I wouldn't have grown my business, okay? But that is what I know that I will definitely have in 5 years, because that I now have, I have that under control, and that is working for me. And if I don't do anything else from today, in 5 years, I will have that. And I know what I will have in 5 years. Not what plans can I make, what am I going to do? What will you, knowing what you've done today, knowing look at what you can do already. Only with that, if you do nothing else, look at what you've learned in the last 10 years, what you've achieved in the last 10 years. Look at what you've done today, the kind of enthusiasm that you've given yourself. From what you've already got, what will you have in 5 years' time? Okay. Now, if it means writing down, I'm still going to be stuck in my same job because actually I don't know anything else, then fine, write that down. If it's the same as me, that my business will still be ticking over as it is actually, and if I don't do anything else actually, it's not going to grow, okay, then fine, write that down. I want you to understand that, in 5 years' time, you will still have somewhere to go. Your projection of life, actually, as you currently stand here today, with what you already know about yourself, okay, you do have your own 5-year plan ahead of you. Now, this is really key because I want you to know that you can have so much more. Okay, but I want you to write down the fact that actually, if you do nothing can change nothing, what you will have in 5 years. And that's not a bad thing, because I can tell you that I looked back over my life actually, and I've had 5-year gaps actually where nothing changed in those 5 years. But I was still grateful of the fact that actually, as time was going through that, I was still learning, but not realizing that. Okay, so you will be a different person in 5 years. Your business may be in a different place in 5 years. But from what you can see, and that's it, what you can see, do you still have a plan in 5 years? If you do, great. If you don't, even better. Because it's really hard to make changes going forward. Especially if you've written down in 5 years, you will have still a business moving. You will have still a family. You will have still employment. If you have any sort of certainty in your plan in 5 years, it makes it really hard to shift track to change anything. Okay? So, just think about those words for a second. Whenever we have anything that is certain in our lives, we are so resistant to want to change it, because if it's working, why change something that's not broken? We are told this time and time and time again. Okay, the wheel was already invented. You don't need to you don't need to change the wheel. You don't need to do any of those things actually, because if you already have a plan going forward, why change anything? And it might be that it doesn't work with you. It might be that you might have tried a few things in the past and you've still got that niggling feeling in your head in terms of where you want to go. But you've always had that 5-year plan in the future that you've just really not known about until today, which is why it's been so hard for you to make that shift. And that is normal for all of us. That is so normal for all of us. And you just need to be really now, accepting of that. It's so hard to change things when it works. Because let's face it, you've got your life raft. Your life raft is keeping you going. You've got that job security. You've got your mortgage. You've got your family. You've got everything actually, and all these security things actually. And that life raft is keeping you afloat. It's difficult to let go of the life raft actually, just go live a dream if you don't know how that's going to work for you. So I'm just going to, say that my front door's just gone. That's great. There's nobody else here. Go and do your sheets for today. Your why comes tomorrow. I'll see you then.